What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, here to talk some Packers, talk some draft. As we're closing in, how many days away are we now, Tim? Are we 8 days away? Is that correct, sir?
Josh Jacobs, days away. That's right.
I'm so excited, man. I can't. I've found where we're getting the cannolis. All right, I couldn't find any cannolis, any Italian restaurants in Green Bay. They all had tiramisu, which I got to be honest with you.
Oh yeah,
right up there with cannolis for me. But cannolis are going to be a good draft day snack. So we're going to have cannolis in the house. Probably got to get them from Costco, Tim. That's okay though. We'll pull
that's
that
all
off.
right. We can handle that.
Already scouted that one out in Bellevue. We're going to see if we can make it as easy as possible. I may have to pay you a little loot to run down there and grab us some. So
hey, anything for cannolis, man. No worries.
I'm looking around at pizza joints too. We'll probably have some pizza delivered in. So there's a couple of different places caught my attention. So
awesome.
Yeah,
it's looking forward to it, man. I can't believe it. We're like a week away, and this is awesome.
Yeah, and I tell you, man, once we get up there, once that plane touches down on Wednesday, I'm going to try to look at my watch every minute to make it last as long as possible.
Yeah, buddy.
Instead of once in a lifetime thing, man, it's going to be great. So
for sure.
I know everybody following in the chat. Appreciate everybody making us a part of your evening. If you would hit that like button on the way in, feel free to subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. Those of you listening on the pod, we also appreciate you. And if you're watching on YouTube and you want to listen in podcast form, just search for Packernet Podcasts. That's all you got to do. Packernet Podcast. That's where you'll find us under that umbrella of Packernet Podcast Network, where you scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you that as well. So anybody who's watching on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and just scan that QR code or go to Packernet Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to that. Feel free to give us a 5-star review too as well. We'd greatly appreciate that. So I see everybody in the chat. Prince says 1 in 4K by draft day. Just got 4,100 with a week left to go. That's right. We just passed 4,100 subs here on the channel, and I cannot thank you guys and gals enough for supporting us. Y'all have been awesome from the get-go, and really cool too, because like what's crazy is in the last week, Tim, we had over 16,000 people tune into the show. Okay, it's some fashion or another on the channel. So I've got to get better at just asking people, hey, while you're here, hit that sub button for us, because if half of the people that watch this channel hit sub, man, we would double our numbers in a heartbeat. So again, really, really appreciate everybody supporting us in that regard. And Tim, appreciate your effort along with Emilio and Jacob, and shout out to Jacob. I know he's got some personal issues there with the pup, going through a little stint there, a little sickness. So thoughts and prayers up to Jacob's only born. I'm a dog guy. You guys know how I am. I got a couple German Shepherds and got a little scrap or two that we found in the streets down here in Tennessee, and took him in, and got my brother's dog as well. So we're big dog people, man. It's tough seeing a pup get sick for sure. So
definitely keeping Jacob in our prayers right now.
Definitely. All right, Tim, let's jump into a topic here. I know Emilio will be joining us here shortly as soon as he gets a shirt on. Listen, if you don't want to wear pants,
as well.
If you don't want to wear pants, it's cool. Just keep the camera high is all I got to say. All right, let's don't go no tubing on here, okay? If you guys know what I'm talking about, we ain't trying to have that happen. So, all right, first topic. I'm really excited to hit some of these top 30 visits that came down the pike here. Been absolutely awesome, kind of keeping up with it. This is the closest I've kept up with them in any recent draft, but one of the most recent ones, got a super chat. Let me hit this real quick. King Tron, proud to be one of the 4,100 boys, even if a couple are smoking crack with their grandmas. I catch every pod and support best I can. You guys kick. AZZ, I like it. Keeping it correct there. There it is.
Got hold to the wrong stuff.
John, you along with Bates and far too many to even mention all the names. Y'all always supporting the show with super chats. We greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you for that. So here we go, boys. Jordan Burch out of Oregon, edge defender. Packers had a top 30 visit with him. Before we dive into the details of it, I'd like to ask y'all right on the front side, without looking at any PFF grades, anything else, and you may not have any foregone conclusions of how you see this prospect, but if you do, does anything grab your attention right off the bat with Jordan Burch out of Oregon?
Run stuffer, probably more than a pass rusher, would be my initial light assessment. I don't know. What do you got on him, Emilio?
Haven't looked at the board yet, just off the basis that Packers were at the pro day. So they got live looks at him. Then, we're going to bring him back in for a 30 visit. I think there's something to that. Either you didn't get enough at the pro day or you needed, or you just wanted to double check something.
Yeah. I know he's another guy that can play like 3 tech all the way to 7, 7 IE. Yep.
Got it. I did notice that when we searched for it, there was a lot of sites that had him as defensive end as opposed to just edge.
Yep.
And sometimes what that means, guys, is they can play defensive end in a 34 front, which means he's kind of could be potentially a bigger body guy or maybe more stout against the run. So
better than like a linebacker edge though, Clay, right? I mean, that's where we ran in a little bit with Colin Oliver. I think that Todd brought up on Patreon. Like, you got a linebacker edge. That's more like a Jalen Walker. I know he's going to go fast. I know he's going to go early, but I just, some of those tweeners are tough to deal with.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right. The Green Bay Packers have reportedly scheduled a top 30 visit with Oregon defensive end Jordan Burch, per team sources, targeting him as a versatile pass rusher in the 2025 NFL Draft. Ranked number 66 on our PTA big board, Burch brings a chiseled 6'4", 279-pound frame with impressive length and athleticism, offering Green Bay a flexible edge defender capable of playing multiple alignments to disrupt opposing offenses. You guys want to see what he looked like in high school here?
Please.
Wait till you see this. I want you to focus on the player on the right, on his left, our right. Get ready for this. Look at this. How does that even happen in high school?
That's a man among boys there, right there. That's
they special ordered his jersey and said, "Okay, man, you pick your number. We'll get the jersey here." I cannot believe the other one. I mean, you see the scrunchies around the other poor kid. You can see the straps. I mean, this thing is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That poor kid. I bet he's thinking, I'm glad he's on my team.
Yep.
I'm going to try to get in this shot right here. So, number one Packer fan said, is Clay in Wisconsin yet? What the hell's going on out here? Not yet, man. We're touching down on Wednesday. We'll be hit it, Tim. I got to hear it. Hit it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Oh, I was wanting the Brett Favre one.
I hit that one by mistake.
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here? I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
There you go. All right, scouting report coming out of high school. 5-star recruit from Hammond School in Columbia, South Carolina. In the 2020 class, Jordan Burch earned a 98.60 grade from On3, ranking as the number 11 prospect overall in the entire country and the top-ranked edge defender nationally. At 6'5", 250 pounds, he dominated with explosive power and versatility, recording 77 tackles, 22 tackles for a loss, and 9 sacks as a senior, leading Hammond to a third consecutive South Carolina 3A state championship. A two-sport athlete in football and basketball, his athleticism earned him USA Today All-American honors and a captaincy in the 2020 Under Armour All-American game. Burch committed to South Carolina over offers from, listen to these offers here, guys, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. Viewed as a freak athlete with elite potential. College statistics. Burch's 5-year career across South Carolina and Oregon reflects steady growth, culminating in a breakout 2024. In 2020, at South Carolina, he played 8 games, recording 19 tackles. In 2021, he played 13 games, posting 26 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pass breakup, and an interception as well. That's pretty impressive. Returned that interception, by the way, 61 yards for a pick 6. In 2020, yeah, exactly. In 2020, he started all 13 games, recording 60 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 3 pass breakups, earning honorable mention All-SEC. Transferring to Oregon in 2023, played 14 games, posting 34 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 pass breakup, earning honorable mention All-Pac-12. And then in 2024, he played in 10 games, exploding for 31 tackles, 8.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass breakups, earning third-team All-Big Ten despite missing games due to a knee injury. Career totals ended up being 58 games, 170 tackles, 16 sacks, 1 interception, which was a pick 6, 10 pass breakups, and 1 forced fumble. My man was dominating. Now, PFF had him listed at 6'6", 295, so that's why you're seeing that defensive end tag in some of these mock-ups, these write-ups here. So PFF, man, it was just a story of steady growth. Starting in 2020, 61.1, 68.2, 72.4, 73.1, and then last year peaked at 77.6. What you're seeing is exactly what Greg Cosell calls an ascending player entering the league, right? So pass rush grade 81.3, run defense grade 68.1, with that overall defensive grade of a 77.6. Moving along, the detailed scouting report on him. Entering the draft. This is from Dane Brugler, a 2-year starter at Oregon. Burch was the field side defensive end. That means the wide side of the formation. Okay, so if they're on a left hash from the offensive perspective, he lined up on the wide side of the field over on the right from the offensive perspective. Let's see. It says, the field side defensive end and defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoils. I hope I'm saying that right. Lupol. Mm-hmm. Multiple fronts, lining up mostly wide outside the tackle, 7 or 9 tech. So he is one of those wide techs for sure. And sliding inside 3 or a 3 or a 5 tech on some sub packages. So when they went to a pass rushing set, what we would refer to like maybe a NASCAR package, he actually kicked inside from a 3 to a 5. That's really interesting. A former top 10 overall recruit in the 2020 class, ahead of other 5 stars such as Bijan Robinson, Will Anderson, and Jalen Carter coming out of high school. That's wild. He spent 3 seasons with his home state Gamecocks before transferring to Oregon for his final 2 years. Burch is somewhat of a one-trick pony as a pass rusher who creates pocket push with power, although he has the athletic traits to be more if he improves his setup and secondary moves. He needs to be more explosive with his hands to shed blocks in the run game, but he showed much improved awareness and finishing skills on the 2024 tape. Overall, Burch is a smooth edge rusher in a defensive tackle's frame. That sounds pretty damn good, boys. Overall, Burch is a smooth edge rusher in a defensive tackle's frame.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like
thick.
It does sound like he's thick, Coach Aff. I agree. It says he probably will never be a star in the league, but he has a high floor talent with his NFL size, power, and movements. He projects as a scheme versatile base end, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he has a similar NFL trajectory to that of John Franklin Myers. What's your all's thoughts so far before I get into the strengths of his game here?
I kind of like the acknowledgement that he's kind of a one-trick pony when it comes to the pass rush, yet he wins with power. And we were talking about that a few shows ago. You know, it's tough to teach power. You know, so if you're a power guy, they can work on hand technique. They can work on some pass rush moves with him. So, you know, if that's kind of a knock on his game, I think it's, you know, the best of a negative situation. At least he's not a straight up finesse guy with no power, you know?
Right.
And the fact that, Tim, on those NASCAR packages, they're down, you know, pass rush definite situations, bringing them inside, being able to still have that speed but strength to beat a guard on a pass rush, and not having to worry, you know, obviously as much about the run. All right, kind of turn it loose and go to work on somebody on the inside and see if you can't get there. I like that.
Yeah, or at least blow up the pocket, something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Again, we've got kind of an early 3rd round grade according to our big board. So if you can get him 3rd round or later, man, that might be the way to go for edge, right? Or who knows if he's hanging around 4th or 5th round somehow, some way.
That'd be real high value in those kind of late in the draft rounds.
Here's the strengths. Dense, good-looking athlete who carries weight well on his NFL-ready body. Loose jointed for 279 pounds with terrific short area movements. Put athleticism on display on 36-yard run to convert direct snap fake punt. He took the direct snap on a fake punt against Maryland in 2024. 36 yards. That's what's something.
Might need to watch that one.
Get Tucker Kraft running the tush push. Let's put him in there, right? So, preferred pass rush tactic is power to disrupt balance or put blockers in reverse. Also uses violent club rip and cross chop when attacking the corner. Naturally left-handed. Has functional length and upper body strength as edge setter to bench press bodies off of him. Able to flip hips, chase and contain wide run attempts. Physical thrown down tackler. Long arms help him finish. 2 seasons at Oregon, he had 65 tackles and only 2 missed tackles in 2 years at Oregon. Finds passing lanes at the line of scrimmage, 11 career passes defended. We kind of talked about that, right? I think the number we had was 10, so Dane Brugler's saying 11. That's even better. But one of those dudes has just got that natural ability of, hey, if I'm not getting to the QB, I'm taking that throwing lane away. And it says his production has improved each season, which we talked about, kind of an ascending player here. Injury and character concerns. Burch has been mostly durable, playing 58 games over 5 seasons. but a right knee injury in October of 2024 caused him to miss games and sapped his athleticism late in the season. He played through the injury during Oregon's playoff run, showing resilience. I like that. No major injuries were reported at South Carolina. Off the field, Burch is a high-character player, praised for his leadership and work ethic, earning team captain honors at Oregon in 2024. His transfer from South Carolina to Oregon sparked no reported issues, and his community involvement in Eugene, that's Eugene, Oregon, obviously, including youth clinics, reflects his maturity. No off-field concerns have been noted, though his age, 24 as a rookie, may concern some teams. The RAS is incomplete, 6'4", 279, but he did have a 4.67 40-yard dash, 33-inch arms. That's what I'm talking about. Draft projection. He projects as a second to third round pick in the 2025 NFL draft, aligning with his number 66 ranking on our PTA big board. His combine measurables, I won't read them again, and breakout 2024 season make him a fit for Green Bay's need for a versatile edge rusher to complement their defensive front. His ceiling is a high-end starter, akin to Keon White. If you guys remember him, I think he got drafted by New England, with scheme flexibility as a 4-3 end or a 3-4 outside linebacker, while his floor is a rotational pass rusher due to run defense inconsistencies and limited agility. The Packers' visit, paired with his Senior Bowl withdrawal and combine performance, signals day two interest, though his knee injury recovery and pro day jumping numbers could impact his stock. He is the number 16 edge rusher on the PTA big board. And you look here, the latest mocks. Now you'll notice this is in February. Back in March, he was going as early as 32nd to the Eagles. Okay. Back in February, he was going 30th to the Bills. Back in January, people were dubbing him 19th to the Lions. That was Walter Football, too. Charlie Campbell over at Walter Football. Now, April 14th, more recently, third round by Lombardi Avenue, Freddie Boston. Sounds like an 80s rock star, don't it, Freddie Boston?
Uh-huh.
So April 14th, he went round 3 to the Packers. April 11th, he went round 4 to the Titans. Looks like the Cowboys over CBS, they had the Cowboys taking him in round 3 back on April 2nd. So you're seeing anywhere from he was early on a late first, and now it looks like he's settled in somewhere between the 3rd and 4th, which really does match up with where we got him on the board. Very interesting. So what do you guys think? Jordan Burch, parting thoughts before we move on to the next guy here.
I wouldn't be mad if we drafted him. I just wouldn't reach for him, in a nutshell. That's kind of how I feel. I don't think he's, a bad prospect. I think there's some little bit better talent at his position group in this draft. But like you said, if this guy's on the board, beyond round 3 or 4, I think you might seriously consider him, especially if you're looking to take an edge.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I just pulled up PFF's draft guide on him. Just his 4 main traits would be first step, balance and play strength, competitive toughness, and tackling. I love all those things. I mean, we need to be able to wrap up, finish tackling. We had a little bit of an issue with that on the line. I like that he can get his hands up, knock down passes. You got the frame of Preston Smith with probably the power sort of drive as Rashawn. That just some of the weaknesses, a little bit more pass rush plan, hands lack purpose, and lacks the bend to truly test that outside shoulder. I'm not mad really at any of those. I mean, let's train him up and get him to that. But right now, what he has is a frame kind of like LVN, but I would say maybe a little bit more pep to it.
Yeah, definitely. And again, we thought that maybe Goody was looking at Derek Harmon at the Oregon Pro Day. Turns out he may have been more interested in Jordan Burch than Derek Harmon. Now, again, he may not want to tip his hand with Derek Harmon. He might be all over Derek Harmon, right? But Jordan Burch definitely on the radar for the Packers with this top 30 visit. So, all right, let's move it along. Next player. I can already tell you I'm going to get tired of reading tonight. And we're going to try to get a mock draft in at the end for sure. So, Packers reportedly schedule a top 30 visit with Colorado State wide receiver Tory Horton. You guys know Jacob. This is his guy, right? Am I wrong, guys? Was he not?
No, this is for the beard right here for sure.
This is Rusty's girl right here.
Rusty Undercarriage's girl right here. So we got Tory Horton out of Colorado State. Obviously, the Packers scheduled a top 30 visit with him, eyeing him as a dynamic playmaker in the 2025 NFL Draft, ranked number 108 on our PTA big board. Horton boasts a lean 6'2", 196-pound frame with elite speed and explosiveness, offering Green Bay a versatile weapon capable of stretching defenses, thriving in the slot or outside. Now, I wanted to go a different route with this one. A lot of these guys we're hearing I think the past 4 or 5 that we've broken down in terms of top 30 visits. They were, I mean, through the roof coming out of high school, right? They were like 5-star recruits, 4-star recruits, 90 ratings. Let me say this real quick. iRock, I see you in the chat, buddy. Reach out to me. Email PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. It'd be easier to text 865-658-5824 so I can get your info and send you the autographed rookie Oladapo card that you won in the last giveaway, buddy. Appreciate you swinging through, man. So here's what I wanted to point out with this. This is from On3 here. Look at this. So he was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school with a 79.51. All right. 79.51 rate. So that's not very high, right? 3-star recruit. But notice where On3 had him as he was leaving college, like the college rating. 4-star with a 92.00. So we're looking at some of these athletes that come out of high school and they're highly touted. But when it comes to Tory Horton, it sounds like he got way better in college. Or at least in some cases, you get these 3-star athletes and they're kind of slept on. And then they get to college, you go, holy cow, this dude was way better than we thought. So On3 kind of adjusts as they go through college, if that makes sense. So 3-star recruit from Washington High School in Fresno, California in the 2020 class. Horton earned a 79.51 grade from On3 ranking as the number, listen to this, 2,295th overall prospect nationally and the 114th athlete. At 6'2", 175, he showcased exceptional speed and ball skills, recording 62 receptions for 1,212 yards and 15 touchdowns as a senior, leading Washington to a California Central Section Division I playoff appearance. A multi-sport athlete, football, basketball, and track, his 4.45 40-yard dash and 38-inch vertical earned him all CIF Central Section honors. Horton committed to Nevada over offers from Northern Colorado, Montana, and Boise State, viewed as a raw but high upside talent with elite athleticism. All right, college statistics. Horton's 5-year college career across Nevada and Colorado State showcases consistent production with a standout 2023 season at Nevada from 2020 through 2021. In 2020, he played 9 games, catching 20 passes for 336 yards, but had 5 touchdowns. You'll notice the touchdowns, what really sticks out here. In 2021, he played 12 games, recording 52 receptions for 659 yards and 5 touchdowns. Transferring to Colorado State before the 2022 season, he played 12 games, hauling in 71 catches for 1,131 yards and 8 touchdowns, earning first-team All-Mountain West honors. In 2023 at Colorado State, he played 12 games, posting 96 receptions for 1,136 yards and 8 touchdowns, again earning first-team All-Mountain West. In 24 at Colorado State, a midseason knee injury limited him to 6 games where he recorded 26 receptions for 353 yards and a touchdown, earning second-team All-Mountain West. Career totals in college, 51 games, 265 receptions, 3,615 yards, 27 touchdowns, plus 12 rushes for 84 yards and 1 touchdown. So when you look at the PFF grades, starting in 2020, 70.5, 69.0, jumps to a 78.9. In 2023, he jumps all the way to an 87.9. And then, of course, the knee injury, it kind of comes back somewhat incomplete for 24, where he finished with an 82.3. I think there's a lot to like here. I think the beard's on one here, boys. I really do. You're muted, Emilio.
Yep, that's on me. I think so, too. The fact that he's still a second team All-American or, second team Mountain West division playing on half the season. I mean, He was turning up for those 6 games. So I love to see that. I think that the beard is definitely onto something here.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he meets the thresholds, right? He's got the build that we're looking for at receiver. And I don't know. I think Jacob's on one. I agree. I mean, he's no Jaden Higgins, right? But
and he's no Emeka Egbuka. And who do you like, Emilio?
Right.
All right. Here we go. Here's the detailed scouting report from Dane Brugler himself. A 2-year starter at Colorado State, Horton was primarily an outside receiver on the right side of the formation in Jay Norvell's version of the air raid. After ranking top 5 in FBS in catches with 96 and first down grabs, he had 57 first down catches in 2023. He returned for his super senior season in 24, but played in just 5 games because of a right knee injury and fell 35 receiving yards shy of the Mountain West career record. He would have broke that record. Go ahead, Emilio.
I have a question.
My knee.
That's exactly my question, Rogers. Are we putting the box on him, or what are we thinking? Are we hitting him with a red box this last year or no?
the way I look at it is they can have an injury and be free of the red box. I want to know the questions have been answered. And I'm pretty sure he's got a complete RAS, right?
Yep. Looks like Greg said a 9.83.
There you go. So let's run it by everybody. Personally, I don't think he needs it because that tells me he's good to go. I like the red box that's saying, hey, had an injury, may not be completely healthy for him.
Maybe didn't run, didn't complete in the combine, all that stuff. Okay, I like it.
Like Will Johnson's another one. Now, Will Johnson had his little private workout, and everybody's like, all right, we finally get to see Will Johnson run. He refused to run the 40. So everybody's like, what the hell? Keep the red box. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because he didn't kind of check that. So, but yeah, the fact that he would have had the Mountain West career record is wild if he hadn't got hurt. However, he will continue Colorado State's impressive run of producing pass-catching draft picks. So recently they had Trey McBride. I think he was a tight end. Olabisi Johnson, Michael Gallup, and Rashard Higgins. All right, Horton is field fast and flashes an explosive gear on downfield and crossing routes, 35 combined catches for 20 yards or more from 22 to 23 seasons. 7th most in the FBS. That's wild. So big, explosive type receiver. His ball skills and route timing can be disrupted by physical defensive backs, but his vertical speed will also open up comebacks, digs, and underneath routes. Or underneath runways, sorry. Overall, Horton must tighten his route running and get stronger, but his fluidity, speed, and natural tracking skills can be weaponized by the right coaching staff. He projects as a rotational Z receiver / punt returner who can gradually push for starting flanker reps. All right,
did you say punt returner?
Hey, dude, when I hear that moving Z mentioned, you know that Matt LaFleur's ears perk up every time.
Okay.
There's the more guys you've got that can play F in his offense and understand the choice route, aspect of his offense, the more versatile you can be as an offense. Everybody just looking for that big jump ball guy stretch the field. That's not Matt LaFleur's offense. Yep. Are there times you need it and can use it? Absolutely. Anybody can. But that's not – Matt LaFleur ain't going out there and drawing up a play and go, all right, boys, right here, we're just going to chuck that son of a gun – 55 yards into triple coverage. I don't care what the coverage is. We're taking a shot here. Of course, he don't talk like that anyway, but you get the point, right.
Well, the fact that you could rotate flyers, I mean,
right.
Kind of like the hockey line on defense, but using a guy, all right, you have to run full speed across the line of scrimmage, 50 yards across before the snap. Then I want you to zipper back. Then I want you to do an orbit. All right, get you out. Jaden Reed, get in here, run 3 more of those. Then run a deep cross at the end of that, at the end of your motion. All that stuff could add up. So I love that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the more guys that can run those type of routes for us, the better we're going to be on offense. I mean, a defense can't, you can't really latch on to one player then in that situation.
Right.
That happened a little bit last year. I mean, you saw Reed in the flyer, and the defense kind of knew what was up. And sometimes that worked to our advantage because we use that, for deception purposes. Mm-hmm. And then you hit another open guy. But if you've got multiple guys capable of running plays like that, I mean, it might explain the top 30 visit. I'm sure Matt LaFleur was probably pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and the other thing too, if you go back to 2023, the reason we struggled opening the season there in that first quarter of the season was Jordan Love was trying to force the ball to Christian Watson. And the second he stopped trying to force it to Christian Watson, everything opened up. And then later on, Christian Watson becomes, way more open. You get those opportunities. So that can be it's good to have that dominant, big body, real fast receiver. Don't get me wrong. But if you try to just go to the well over and over and over and over, you're going to be playing from behind in a lot of cases for sure. So, all right, gliding. Here's his strengths. Gliding speed, probably stride length is the best way to describe it, right? And shows go and get it gear with 22.5 in-game miles per hour.
Wow.
That would be up. That might be the fastest in the NFL last year recorded. Because it's like you get into 21. Everybody in the top 10 is somewhere around 21 mile an hour. So someone do that for me real quick. If you can, do a quick Google search in the chat and find out who was the fastest recorded player in the 2024 NFL season in miles per hour. Can stack and separate vertically or sell double moves, shows healthy dose of crossers and over routes on film, and has feel for where to fit in the coverage, just finding those open spots. I love it. Able to flip his hips towards the ball and make smooth body adjustments or climb ladder on throws above the line of sight. Can start/stop in a blink to shake defenders after the catch, put more missed tackles on tape than expected. Offers value as a punt returner. He had 3 return touchdowns at Colorado State of 79, 78, and 72 yards. He averaged 16.3 yards per return, 26 attempts for 423 yards and 3 touchdowns. Had a passing touchdown. So he was 5 for 6 passing in his career for 151 yards and a touchdown with 1 interception. That's wild. 2-time team captain. Coach Norvell said, quote, "I've been around the kid for a long time, and he's made of the right stuff," end of quote. Set CSU single game record for receptions with 16 versus Colorado in 2023, and finished number 2 in career receiving yards with 3,615, both at Colorado State and in the Mountain West Conference. So what do we got a speed here from last year? Was it Cavante? Is that right? Yeah, Cavante Turpin of the Dallas Cowboys, 22.3 mile an hour. So if this mile per hour is correct, and Dane Brugler's not going to put it in his write-up if it's not true, Tory Horton was clocked running faster than any ball carrier in the National Football League last year. That's pretty wild. So you may see a 4.440, but when you're talking game speed and mile per hour, it might kind of equate out to a 4.3 type look. So
love it.
Very interesting. All right, injury and character concerns. Horton has been relatively durable, playing 51 games over 5 seasons, but a right knee sprain in October of 24 at Colorado State forced him to miss 6 games and limited his explosiveness late in the season. He did not return for a bowl game due to the injury. No other major injuries were reported at Nevada or Colorado State. Off the field, Horton is a high character leader, earning team captain honors in 23 and 24 at Colorado State. His transfer from Nevada to Colorado State was amicable. How would you say that? Amicable, right? Mm-hmm. That sounds right. We'll go with that. Driven by a desire for a new challenge, and he's been praised for his work ethic and mentorship of younger receivers. His community work in Fort Collins, including youth football camps, underscores his maturity. No off-field issues have been reported, though his age, 23, as a rookie, and lean frame may raise durability questions. And there's that RAS there, boys. Look at all that green across the board, man. 6'2", 196 pounds, a 37.5-inch vert with a 10.06 broad jump. Both of those proven to be a great explosion grade. 40-yard dash of 4.41, 20-yard split of 2.56, 10-yard split of 1.53. What I love about that is that's pretty even across the board when it comes to the 40. It's not like he's faster coming off the line as he is with top-end speed. When it's balanced like that and it's a good 40, that's what you want to see. His arm length at 30.6. Now the hand size at just 9 inches, little bit smaller than most receivers, but I don't think that's going to be a huge issue there for sure. No,
and according to PFF's draft guide, he has a real wide catch radius. So even with the small hands, he slender frame, he has a huge catch radius and has really good and strong hands. Which I do like. And he said that he glides, long strides, help him cover ground even without – they're saying he doesn't have great speed, but I think they need to reevaluate a little bit. I think he does have kind of that top-ender in-game speed.
Nice. Draft projection, Tory Horton projects as a 3rd to 5th round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, aligning with his 108 ranking on our PTA big board. Goes on to talk about the combine one last time there. Green Bay's need for speed threat to complement their young receiving core. His ceiling is a high-end wide receiver akin to Darnell Mooney, with the ability to stretch defenses in West Coast or spread offense, while his floor is a reliable wide receiver 3/4 due to his slight build and limited physicality. The Packers' visit paired with his strong combine performance signals day 2 or early day 3 interest, though his knee injury recovery and pro day agility drills could affect his stock. He is the number 22 wide receiver on our PTA big board. All right, so when you go down the line here, back in February, he was considered a 1st-round pick according to Pro Football Focus in their mock drafts, okay? Back in August, way back in August, he was considered a 1st-round pick, right, as the college football season was getting kicked off. Draft Countdown, same thing, 1st-round pick, right around the 31 spot. Bleacher Report back in July, so right before the season started, had him in the 30 spot. Sharp Football Analysis back in May had him going 28. Now let's get to the most recent. Actually, no, this is April of 24. They had him going as high as 7. DraftWire did.
Wow.
So that huge 23 season going into this year, he was a slam dunk 1st-round pick. If he doesn't hurt that knee, that's the only thing holding him up. And then you see the testing. don't be surprised if all of a sudden people see him even higher than a third-round pick now. But the most recent mocks, here we go, April 15th, a Titans website had him going in the 4th round. The Draft Network, Justin Milo, April 14th, had him going in the 5th round. And then that same Titan site, but a different guy in Will Lomas, had him going in the 5th round as well. So you could see, Tim, there was times he was considered a first-round pick, and now it sounds like he's settling in somewhere between the 3rd and the 5th round, most likely.
Yeah, that seems to kind of be the major consensus. Personally, I like him 4th round or later, depending on how things stack up for us. But, and him being a little bit leaner, that's not a big deal, right? We can take him to Kroll's, cheese curds and butter burgers on us, no worries. We'll add a little, 10 pounds real quick, no worries.
Get him some cannolis, man. We'll be good.
Yeah, cannolis for dessert. There you go. And then right to the weight room, right? Just cut it up right away. But I think the thing that Emilio brought up is really interesting to me is like despite the smaller hand size, the catch radius is insane. So it means that he's probably physical at the catch point and, extremely athletic in the air, pursuing that ball. So you talked about the insane amount of first down conversion catches that he had last year. I mean, this guy is, you're talking about a 3rd or 4th receiver on your depth chart. You can do a lot worse than Tory Horton. So I just hope they don't reach for him. Like if we miss and we don't get anyone say earlier, I don't know if I'd take a 3rd round pick on him. There's a couple other guys I like a little more, but I still think Tory Horton is fun to watch, man.
Yeah. Greg Rice says his draft number is all over the board. NFL mock draft database has him at 105, though. 7th pick on April and as late as round 5, which is pretty much what we just covered, right? So
right here, I just wanted to hit this. Coach was asking, is he a body catcher or is he more known to pluck the ball away from his frame? According to PFF, they have him as a true possession receiver. His hands are legitimate with a long catch radius, helping him record 86th percentile contested catch rate and a catch percentage above 92% in each of the past 2 seasons. They said limited flexibility and acceleration, but has crazy quick feet and really great hands out of his release, coach. And they said that as an effective receiver is to get off press really well. So I like that as well. I mean, if we're going to put him outside, if you're not running just a flyer, hey, I do need you to be able to, run that fade ball, but sell it, pull the safety, run that crosser, run the tornado route, whatever we need you to do.
Definitely. H.E. Solder said the visits are matching up with what your board looks like down to around the 4th round. Nice job, guys. Appreciate it, Solder. Put a lot of work into it. And again, it's not like we're looking at the prospects. I don't want to send the misrepresentation of what the board is. We're not watching the prospects and going, yeah, we got a 4th rounder on him. We're taking in all of the sources, all of the information that we trust. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry that's covering the draft, but people that we go, okay, this dude's legit. That guy's a former scout. This guy's been watching NFL films since the 1970s. Let's really incorporate their opinion. People like Dane Brugler, who does just one heck of a job. So appreciate the kind words there, Solder. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot putting that board together.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper, anyway?
Notice I didn't mention Kiper, right? Go ahead.
That's it. I was telling you, though, every time I'd be listening to a pod and the name comes up, it's like, oh, I think pretty sure we had him around 104, 105, right. And then the names get jumbled. I'm like, man, now we don't know the numbers, but I remember where they are, and it's just crazy to see.
It really is, man. All right. Anything else on Tory Horton? Boys, we good?
No, I think we're good.
All right, let's move it along.
Jacob will cover some more on Tory Horton when he comes back for sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. He'll be like, I told you, boys, you don't listen to me. All right, let's go to another wide receiver. It was a top 30 visit, and then we're at the end. We're going to get into a mock draft, and tonight Emilio and Tim are going to call the shots. All right, I'm tired of getting abused all day. All right, so here we go. Tai Felton. I got to be honest. When I first started to dive into this Tai Felton breakdown, I wasn't that excited. I'm thinking, Tai Felton, just another guy, right? By the end of it, I was going, this guy's really interesting, really interesting. First of all, look at that picture right there. That poor bastard in the background. Look at that.
And the whole team chasing him down.
Pretty wild. All right, so here we go. We're talking about a top 30 visit with Maryland wide receiver Tai Felton, eyeing him as a dynamic playmaker in the 2025 NFL Draft. He's ranked number 131 on our PTA big board. Felton brings a wiry 6'1", 183-pound frame with elite speed and after-catch ability, offering Green Bay a versatile target, having played 204 snaps in the slot while logging 559 snaps out wide to complement their passing attack. Look at this. Once again, look at this poor guy trailing here on the ground. That's swimming in the turf, chasing Tai.
Yeah.
So here's the scouting report coming out of high school, and that is a high school shot right there, by the way. I love it. A 3-star recruit from Stonebridge High School in Ashburn, Virginia, in 2021 class, Tai Felton earned a 83.05 grade from On3 at 6'2", 170. He showcased explosive speed and hands, racking up 1,050 yards, 13 touchdowns as a sophomore. His track background, he ran an 11.2 second 100-meter dash there, added burst, earning him first-team All-State honors despite an ACL tear his senior year. Felton committed to Maryland over offers from Nebraska, Pitt, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. That's some pretty big schools there for a 3-star recruit. Seen as a raw talent with big play potential. When you look at the PFF grades, guys, 21, 62.2, then a 62.0, then a 64.2, and then boom, in 2024, he jumps all the way to a 78. Again, notice the snaps. He played out wide 559 snaps, but kicked inside to the slot 204 snaps with a receiving grade of 80.2 his final year. College statistics. Felton's 4-year career at Maryland shows steady growth culminating in a breakout 2024 with 0 fumbles across his entire tenure. Emilio, he did not fumble one time in college, bro. That is wild. In 2021, he played 6 games, catching 5 passes for 51 yards. 22, he played 13 games with 23 receptions of 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. 23, he played 13 games, 48 catches, 723 yards receiving with 6 touchdowns, earning third-team All-Big Ten. And then in 2024, he played in 12 games, exploding for 96 receptions, 1,124 yards, and 9 touchdowns, setting a Maryland single-season receptions record and earning first-team All-Big Ten and third-team All-American honors. His career totals 44 games, 172 receptions, 2,207 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Like this little guy, too, by the way, man. Going up in high point in the ball. Detailed scouting report entered in the draft. You guys got anything before I dive into that? Let me get me a drink. What's sticking out to you so far about Tai Felton?
Playmaker. Dude wants a ball in his hand. He wants to score. Obviously, it's Maryland, so you know you're not exactly sure on the competition, but the dude wants the ball and he wants to score. I love that. Got that high energy, high effort. Hey, I'll take that.
Yep, I agree. Another one kind of like Horton too. When you look at the build and stuff, get him some cheese curds, get him on the weight machine, and he'll grow into the NFL frame real nicely. Another kind of mid to late round pick right here that, again, you could do a lot worse. It's funny because I look at him and Horton kind of comparatively, and I can't make up my mind who I'd rather have, say, in the fourth or fifth round or something.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for hour 1, guys. The time got away from me here, man. This show is flying by. We're going to continue this talk on the other side for hour 2 for everybody on the pod. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We will continue the Tai Felton breakdown as the chat's going nuts over him right now. We'll see y'all in hour 2. Appreciate you.
For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome in hour 2. Let's continue this Tai Felton breakdown. Coach Lynn in the chat said he's a burner, stood out the combine the first time I heard his name. J. Cole, is this a replacement visit for Isaiah Bond? I think you might be onto something there, Jay.
Wow, that's a great point.
Very similar, right? Because Isaiah Bond, a very fast receiver as well. That does kind of feel like they're a similar type player. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say Tai Felton probably had better production than Isaiah Bond did at Texas last year. So Greg Rice confirms 4.3740. Let's see here. H.E. Solder says Felton feels like a guy that they will think about if they get frozen out of the other speed receivers. I could see that for sure. Yep. Greg Rice, he can jump out of the gym, 39.5-inch vertical. That's wild. So there you go. All right. Moving along, Dane Brugler's detailed scouting report on Tai Felton. The 3-year starter at Maryland, Felton lined up primarily outside in offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis's pro-style spread scheme. Although he logged more slot snaps as a senior than in previous 3 years combined, after missing almost all of the final 2 years of high school, He was somewhat of a late bloomer when he joined the Terps and found himself buried on the depth chart. But his impact and production improved each of his 4 years in the program. As a senior, he was named team MVP after leading the Big Ten in catches with, I guess that's 8 per game, and receiving yards 93.7 per game, and breaking DJ Moore's single-season Maryland record for catches. That's interesting. A natural field stretcher, Felton can stay in the corner's pocket before pulling away at the last moment. So he's got kind of that late burst that they talk about, that manipulating the corner when the ball's in the air.
Right.
Although the success rate was just 28.6% with 8 catches on 28 targets on throws of more than 20 yards in 2024. He can avoid contact with his quick feet, but his mediocre play strength stands out and hurts his ability to play through contact mid-route. So maybe that midline route is what he struggles with, and at the catch point as well. Overall, Felton has the explosive speed to be a weapon in the quick game and downfield, which gives him NFL starting potential as a Z receiver. His special teams experience will only boost his chances of cementing a spot in an NFL depth chart. So the RAS is a 9.20. There's the 4.3740. Pretty solid across the board in terms of how that's distributed. There's the 39.5-inch vert, and he also added in an even better broad jump at 10.10, scoring a 9.62. So Tai Felton, very interesting. Injury and character concerns. Felton has been mostly durable, playing 44 games over 4 seasons through an ACL tear in high school, though an ACL tear in high school sidelined him his senior year. He missed 1 game in 24 due to a minor hamstring tweak, but showed resilience playing all other contests. His ball security is impeccable with 0 fumbles across his college career. Off the field, Felton is a high-character player, earning praise for his work ethic and leadership as a 2024 team leader. His experience as a kick returner and punt returner highlights his team-first mentality with no off-field concerns reported. Coaches allowed his maturity and ability to handle high target volume. And when you look at where he's most recently been mocked, we'll go back to 24 earlier in the season. Back in October, as high as 22 to Denver. In September of the college football season this past year, 20th, according to the 33rd team. And look at this one, Pro Football Network. James Fragoza. Back in August, he had him going as high as number 8 to Washington. Now, since then, since March and April, and obviously the injury, looks like somewhere between the 4th and 6th round, we said here in the draft projection. He projects as a 4th to 5th round pick in the 2025 draft, mentions his combine stuff as well. Broad jump underscores explosiveness, making him a fit for Green Bay's need for a versatile Z receiver. Though his slight frame and limited strength cap his ceiling, his best case is a high-end Z starter if paired with a physical number 1 receiver, while his floor is a return specialist and rotational piece. The Packers' visit, paired with his Senior Bowl invite, signals growing interest, in his record-setting 2024 could elevate his mid-round stock. Can we confirm that he was at the Senior Bowl? I didn't know he was at the Senior Bowl. Is that true?
I believe he's on my list. Let's double check.
Yeah, take a look there on the board if you can, Emilio, as well.
We do have a Senior Bowls.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because sometimes as we're putting these articles together, the AI will grab stuff that, obviously is not accurate. And I just wanted to – that's something that's really important for our board if you guys may or may not know. So what do we think, boys? Tai Felton, I mean, one of those guys that if the board don't fall just right early in the draft for wide receiver, you could probably bounce back and grab him, right?
Yep. Round 4 or 5, hopefully. Would be great. I love the experience as a kick returner and a punt returner. Praise for maturity and leadership. I mean, the guy sounds like a Packer. He really does.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect spot there, right around Kobe Bryant. Same tier as Kobe Bryant, Thor Griffith, and then, just a little bit behind Nick Nash, Isaiah Bond, Pat Bryant. He's only 2 tiers below him on the board. So not far off from where they're at. I think the Isaiah Bond comp earlier is probably a good replacement. Hey, let's get another eye on a mid-round speed guy and see what happens.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, man. Could not agree more. All right, so there you go. There's your top 30 visits. And is there anything else you guys want to add to anything we just covered before we get ready to wrap this up and jump into a mock draft here? Anything?
I'm ready to mock. What about you, Emilio? You ready to mock?
I'm ready to mock. I'm over here. I'm ready.
Let's mock and roll, baby.
Mock and roll. I love it. All right. Let's get into a 7-round mock here for the Packers. We're going to try to do this every show as we close in on the draft. Man, I get great feedback on these mocks. Most of the time we're getting roasted, but it's nice to just kind of learn and see where these guys are going to end up falling in this year's draft. So 7 round, You guys want me to take it to 23 right off the bat, and then we'll see if you guys want to trade back or what have you. This is going to be Tim and Emilio working the board tonight. So here we go.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Emilio's the GM. I'm just the senior advisor.
Mock draft database for those of you on the pod.
Yeah, so if anybody's wondering, what Tim just said is blame Emilio. This is Emilio. Right? And look at this. Of course, Tim, it would fall just right for him. Look who's on the board at 23. Jade Barron, Michael Williams.
If you want to run that card, Emilio, I'll co-sign that.
Jihad Campbell, welcome to the. No, I'm kidding.
Malachi Starks, you are a Packer.
Okay, but really quickly though, I would not at all put that past Goody if Jihad Campbell and I really could see him taking him at 23 and going, hey, our linebacker room is set. We'll square up the rest of the draft in rounds 2 and 3. I can't believe you fell.
No doubt. What do you want to see here, Emilio? Do you need to see anything?
I honestly don't think I need to see any more. I think I am going to take Jade Barron. He's top of the board here at 14. I like the fact that, hey, I mean, if we're still up in the air at corner and we need to get it squared away, I think that the D line is so deep in this draft, 20 to 30 of them going in the first 3 rounds, that if it falls this way, you have time to make it up for it in the second and third round. I think I'm going to have to run the corner card up, but I would love to get input from my senior associate here.
I'm kind of leaning the same way you are on this one, Emilio, because it does kind of like right out of the gate just kind of address that corner issue in this draft. The only thing I would say is possibly look at a trade back a couple spots. But then looking at Jade Barron, I mean, we could trade back 1 or 2 spots. He'd probably be off the board in the next couple of picks. So I think if this is your guy, this is our guy, I'm with you. Let's run the card.
Number 16 on the big board. I see people saying he's a slot corner, guys. He's not just a slot corner. Yep. He's not just a slot corner. And again, the way he's too small, he's the same size as Jair Alexander.
What would it look like if we traded back to Houston?
Let's take it.
Man.
Just 2 spots. Just all right, Minnesota, you get a shot. And
all right, let's see what happens if we try to go back to Houston, right? Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you want to try to pick up a third, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, they probably won't give us a 79, will they?
They will not. No, sir.
I would take the 89 if possible.
So let's reset here. Let's come back to Houston. You're saying 25 and 89. Nah, they ain't going to do it. Now, you want to try to give something back, Emilio?
No.
Nothing. Yeah.
Right. No deal. He said, no soup for you.
Wait.
Here we go.
Wait.
I'm not giving D'Amico Ryans and them guys any extra ammunition down there.
Give them either the 7th, that 237, or that 6th, 198. Maybe the 6th.
So you want to try to give the 198?
Yeah.
Right?
I see that. Yeah.
They said try again, my friend.
Okay, never mind that.
Let's just draft our guy.
Barron, get on here. We tried.
All right. We're going to do Jade Barron, the 16th best prospect on our board. Again, very versatile. He's one of the corners that we've got a V. We had a V on his name from the jump. He could play outside. He could play inside. He's a baller. This dude, I don't know if you guys have heard him. Ryan did a good job breaking down his interviews and stuff. This guy is a freaking – he sounds like a 8-year vet in a rookie is what he sounds like. Really, really, I would be over the moon.
And Jade Barron is tier 1, 2, 3, 4. He's in our 5th tier there, right? He is above Michael Williams on a tier grade, above Ibuka, above Campbell. So he is that next tier up. He's in the same one along with Shamar Stewart and Walter Nolan on the board.
Love it. All right, here we are now at pick 54.
Don't even ask me who I'm picking here.
Jalen Milroe, Carson Swisinger. We got Jaden Higgins on the board at 54. This is Jade Barron and Jaden Higgins using this same site has not happened in so long, man. Xavier Watts, JT Tuamaloa. You've got Darius Alexander, Quinshawn Judkins, Elijah Arroyo, TJ Sanders. What positions do you want to see here, Daniel?
I need to see D-line, Clay.
All right, D-line, you got Darius Alexander, you got TJ Sanders. That would be good value here. Top 30 visit as well. Josh Farmer, Omar Norman Lott, Deion Walker, Ty Robinson, Jordan Phillips, CJ West.
Wow. And then just edge really quickly.
All right. Edge, you got JT Tuamaloa out of Ohio State, then Jack Sawyer, his teammate. Braden Swinson in the 64 spot. Oladejo at 68. Josiah Stewart at 80. Ashton Gelati at 91.
Tim is not – I'm going to have to defend my pick here, but I think I'm going to take TJ Sanders out of South Carolina.
Ooh, Tim.
Tim, now hear me out here. Okay.
Well, hold on. I'm a defensive guy. So
okay, let me pitch
I'm not that upset with you at all.
All right, not 22 didn't look great, 729, right? 23 jumps way up, 199. 24, 31st best. PFF had him at 32, and consensus had him 59th. DJ had him 42nd, 33rd had him 52nd, and Dane had him 60th. He had a -5 RAS, so a 9+, and Greg Cosell really liked him with a -3. Didn't get the -5, but a -3. He is a captain. Packers met with him, threshold fit, and he is a top 30 visit.
Where's he on our board? One more time. Yeah. Where's he on our board?
On our board, 39th. He's leading the tier. Tier 40 he's leading.
So for people who are saying you're crazy to take TJ Sanders over Jaden Higgins, where's Jaden Higgins on the board?
Jaden Higgins is actually the tier below him, tier 45, with Jack Sawyer, Alfred Collins, Trey Harris.
And again, when you look at the importance, the reason, if you guys look at our board, if you're in the Patreon group, you've got access to our draft board. If you're not in the Patreon group, scan the QR code in the upper right or go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. You'll notice that defensive tackle, edge, offensive tackle, and quarterback are all lit up green. It's because they're tier 1 positions of importance, period, case closed. So way more important than a wide receiver. Now, is TJ Sanders going to be a better NFL pro than Jaden Higgins? I don't know, right? But I mean, you're going off the board. You're sticking to the board. You're also sticking to that tier of importance. I know people are going to hate you for passing up on Higgins for TJ Sanders, but this makes all the sense in the world. It really does.
Right. It's just like when you go to school, right? You graduate college, you just get the certificate. It doesn't matter what your grades were in between. I think that we go ahead and bring Sanders in here.
All right. Coach Lynn brings up a great point. He says trade back in the second and still get TJ Sanders. Here's the issue, right? We're picking at 54. Sanders is ranked 60th on this mock draft system. So if we went back like 3 spots and tried to pick up a late round pick, you're risking losing him for what, to maybe pick up a 6th or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's tough. If you trade back and you lose a guy that is hands down the best on the board, right? You lost him because you were trying to get a 6th or something. You know, that's a tough look. Really
I have him 39th on the board. I think that's a screaming deal getting him 54th. Like the only other way I would want to do it is pull together a bunch of those picks at the end and try to get another one up in the top 100. But right now, I don't even think it's worth it.
I like what Coach Lynn's saying there, though. I like the thought process.
No, definitely.
Can we grab some more value? Dave C says, don't risk it. There you go. And let's see here. PJB in the chat says, where's my guy? Let's see here. Long snapper. Austin Brinkman's still there. PJ
okay. We're not going to snag him later.
All right, so we're going with TJ Sanders, ain't we, Emilio?
Tim, did I sell him to you? Are we good with it?
Oh, you don't have to sell him that hard. And even though I'm the president of the Jaden Higgins fan club, I'm going to lean with your judgment here. I agree. I think we should take TJ Sanders. Let's do it.
Before we do it, H.E. Soder asked a question here. Okay. How much better is Sanders than, say, West or Roberts? So go to the, just try to scroll down beyond Sanders and see where
West would be the next one, right?
Yes, we have him a 177th, Tim.
What about Roberts, Elijah Roberts? I'm imagining who that is.
Roberts is 105.
So, you're talking about 70 spots, Soder,
Right. Roberts is in the same tier as Jacob Bayer, the center from Arkansas State.
I wanted to bring that question up because I love the way the chat's thinking, like, all right, which, can you get just as good a value later, right? So
this
Roberts is a dog though, 91.1 grade last year.
Yep, and versatile too. Looked like they had him at edge and D line, but I think that just looking, I almost would be willing to double up depending on who falls in, on the next pick to looking at these D linemen. Look at it like Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, right? We took Musgrave, but then you followed it right back up, took another tight end, and we were freaking out, right? Back-to-back tight ends, what's going on? It's where the draft is full.
Yep, definitely. And another one, and we got to move quick. I'm the one dragging this along. This is nobody's fault but mine. Somebody asked in the chat here, who was it? They asked about Swinson, or they just mentioned Swinson. Who was it here? I know here we go. Prince. Swinson being there at 54 is a gift. So they've got Braden Swinson at 64 here on the board. Where do we have Braden Swinson on our board? Because I know Greg Cosell loved him. I think he liked him way more than our board liked him, though.
Swinson is 85th.
Okay, got it. So, yeah, TJ Sanders all day long. Yeah. All right, let's do it. TJ Sanders with the 54th pick. The Green Bay Packers are selecting defensive tackle TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. Give him a
and TJ Sanders wasn't as JT from Ohio State, but 6 spots ahead of him. So
got it. Good stuff, man. All right, here we are at pick 87, Amelia. You've already taken a cornerback and a defensive tackle. Best on the board, linebacker Demetrius Knight, interior offensive lineman Tate Ratledge, interior offensive lineman Marcus Bowe, Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle. What position would you like to see, sir?
Give me tackles, I guess. Let me just see who's out there.
All right. Tackles, you got Ozzie Trapillo, Emory Jones Jr., Anthony Belton, and Holland Pierce.
Don't think we need to go there quite yet. All right, and then just interior line. I know we had Bo on there. Who else was in there?
Oh, interior?
Yeah, let's see.
Tate Ratledge, Bo, Jared Wilson, probably your eyes. Where's Tate Ratledge on the board? Because we're a little lower on him. Some people had him as a first-round pick for a long time.
Yeah, let's see. Tate here is 61st.
Okay, so that would be good value, right? What about where is Bo lower than him?
Bo, I'm pretty sure was actually ahead of him. Bo's 74. Okay, so Tate would be the move there.
Okay.
Now
let's look at wide receiver. You want to? Is that all right with you?
Please.
Kyle Williams, Tory Horton. Where's Tory Horton on our big board? Is it 10 something? Am I thinking right? We just broke him down.
Yes, he's 108.
Here,
I could potentially see a little trade back and working like the hundreds,
like 5 or 6 spots.
Yeah, like trade me back to Baltimore, 91st, and then kind of go from there.
Okay,
is Jalen Royals off the board?
Who's that?
Jalen Royals, is he off the board?
He is, yes, sir. He's gone.
I like your idea, Emilio. Trade back here if we can.
So you want to try to go to roughly what pick you think?
I would take Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah, 91st there.
All right, so we're going to go. That's what in the world? Oh, it's hung up. Are you kidding me right now? Let's see here. Trade. What is going on? It's hung up. They ain't going to let us do it, bro. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Get out of here. Let me try it one more time. Let's see if we can.
I'll trade with Houston.
Let me switch. All right, so you want to go Baltimore?
Yeah.
What is going on here? There we go. Okay. So you're saying give up 87 for 91 and see what they'll give us back, right? What do you want to try for here?
I would give them that 5th 159 and let me see if I can get their 129 here.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay.
Now you know why I made him the GM, Clayton.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks. So for everybody listening on the pod that can't see what we just did here trade-wise, we're going to give pick 87 and 159 for pick 91. So we're going to trade back 4 spots, and we're basically going to flip that 5th rounder at 159 into a 4th rounder at 129. Right, Emilio?
I like that. Yep. Give me up another 30 spots.
I'm going to pray to sweet baby Jesus that Tory Horton's still there, right? Is that what we're thinking?
Come on, Tory. Come on. This is for Rusty.
This is for Rusty. He said,
let's see.
Look, we're getting another offer, 1 pick.
It's Seattle. We're not giving them anything.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you. That's what
Tory Horton is on the board.
All right, so again, Tory Horton or one of these interior offensive linemen, right, Amelia?
Yeah, pull those back up real quick. Oh, they're all still there? Wow. D-line. Give me D-line real quick, and if I just blow this whole thing up here.
Omar Norman Lott.
No, they're down a little further. Tez we have ahead, but I just don't like Tez's build. So I think he's kind of kind of be off the board. Yeah, I think it's got to be either Tory or Bo.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Tory Horton in honor of Jacob.
I like that, Tim.
As much as I hate to go against my boy from Tulsa East, Milwaukee's own, Mr. Bo.
Chat's loving it, boys. Greg Rouse says Celio's cooking.
So if I'm following the go to linebackers real quick, is Demetrius Knight still sitting there?
No. Danny Stutzman and Chris Paul Jr. are.
Okay, so then it would either have to be Bo at interior lineman who's a threshold fit, or we go with the top 30 visit of Tory Horton, who's a captain threshold.
Or do we take a peek at edge?
Let's see it. I'll get us back on track here, Clay. I promise.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Ashton Gelati, Jared Ivey. Jared Ivey's that dude that he's really, really high on our board, but he just doesn't meet the threshold. It's the reason we wait till later every time, or else we would take him a lot earlier, I believe. So, yeah.
Okay, click on running back real fast on your way to wide receiver.
We went everywhere. Dylan Sampson, DJ Giddens, Damian Martinez, Beshul Tootin.
Tootin. Okay. All right. I think Tory's got to be the man here.
All right, we're going to go Tory Horton. Now, listen, you're going to get a bad grade.
Yeah, I am.
Because they're suggesting Kyle Williams, who's lower on our board but higher on theirs, right? Tory Horton is 105. It's going to look like a reach, but I'm with you. I think now's the time to get him. You could trade back a few more spots, but you're risking losing him for sure. So going Tory Horton with the 91st pick. The Green Bay Packers are taking him out of Colorado State. Not bad, B+.
Okay.
Right. I'm liking this draft, though. It's looking pretty solid, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, see, that's a long wait in between picks there, though.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here we are at pick 124. Then we got pick 129 as well, just five spots apart there. Best available quarterback, Will Howard. Tight end, Terrence Ferguson. Offensive tackle, Anthony Belton. Defensive lineman, Ty Robinson. Running back, DJ Giddens. Safety, Billy Bowman. And cornerback, Dorian Strong. There's Danny Stutzman and Barrett Carter as well. What do you want to see?
I almost don't think I need to look any further. I'm pretty sure it's going to be our boy, Anthony Belton. He is technically DJ Giddens is a tier above him, but Anthony Belton is a Packers fit, 30 visit, tackle with a -3 RAS. Not too shabby.
What that means. Yep.
Tootin is ahead. Parrish. And let's just look at corners real quick.
Corners, you got Dorian Strong, Denzel Burke, Quincy Riley, Kobe Bryant, and Jordan Hancock. Dorian Strong was kind of high, right? Wasn't he like the athletic freak? I think
he was. I think, though, looking at it, the fact that I do have Barron, I think he's going to be the one starting. We do have Strong at 160. So
gotcha.
I think I'm going to have to go with the tackle there, Mr. Belton.
All right. So with the 124th pick, Emilio has taken, according to the mock draft database, the 98th best prospect. Great value there. Where's he at on our board again, Anthony Belton?
Anthony Belton is 136 on our board.
So right around that range, according to our board. So here we go. Anthony Belton, offensive tackle out of NC State. A+, crushed it. My man's cooking. He's cooking with Crisco. All right. Pick 129, Emilio. You're right back on the clock. Best available, Ty Robinson, defensive tackle. DJ Giddens, running back. Billy Bowman, safety. Dorian Strong, corner. Danny Stutzman, linebacker. Barrett
D-line and edge is kind of what I need to see.
Jared Ivey is there. Great value, right? And then defensive line would be Ty Robinson.
CJ West.
Where's CJ West again? I already asked you once. I apologize.
CJ West, 177.
Okay, so
we have him lower.
Where's Ty Robinson? I wonder. Out of Nebraska, defensive tackle.
Robinson. Whoops. Ty is it's a wide receiver. Sorry. Ty Robinson, 146.
Okay, so
that's not bad. I think, though, it's either going to be Elijah Roberts or Jared Ivey.
Yeah, Jared Ivey should be pretty high. I want to say he's in the top 100, definitely, right?
Yeah, he is. Elijah Roberts we have at 105. Okay, he is a captain wrestler. Packers met with him and a top 30 visit. Edge versatile out of SMU, or Ivy at 52 with just a Senior Bowl. But he just doesn't have the RAS is all it is. He's got a 0 RAS.
All right. That's damn though. That's great value according to our board. Hey, that's where you talk about production over production over traits, right? So we're going Ivy here.
Tim, I need a little help here.
Here, I'll make it easy for you. Run the
card. Run the card. Is that it, Emilio? We going Ivy?
Yeah, bring him in.
Right. 129 with the 129th pick. The Green Bay Packers are selecting edge defender out of Ole Miss, Jared Ivey.
Bang, B plus. Look at that grade point average.
Hey, I'll take that all day long.
All right.
I've got a while until I pick because I got rid of that 5th.
Got 3 picks left, 198, 237, 250. So far, Emilio has taken, with the 23rd pick, Jahdae Barron, cornerback out of Texas. With the 54th pick, TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. 91st, Tory Horton, wide receiver out of Colorado State. 124, Anthony Belton, tackle out of NC State. And then Jared Ivey, edge defender out of Ole Miss at 129. What do you want to see, sir?
I guess take me back to D-line. Let me see if I can't find another 3-tech to just stow in there.
Kind of slim, right? You got a couple of Notre Dame guys, Riley Mills, Howard Cross, the third, Ty Hamilton out of Ohio State, Cam Jackson. None of those really grabbed my attention.
I'd almost rather wait for Cam Horsley or something later.
Yeah, wish that's where the only thing I think I could have maybe is doubled up on D-line sort of in the middle there, but Tory slipping to 91, I had to take it. So
J. Cole said, look at Cam Jackson. Where do we got Cam Jackson at?
Mr. Cam Jackson is 270 on our board.
So he's a little lower on our board there.
Just for fun, can we see corner?
Absolutely, man. Jordan Hancock. Bial Cone. We got Justin Wally, Robert Longerbeam, Jalen Smith, Elijah Huzzy, Jamari Harris. I want to say Jamari Harris we were a little big on, right? If I remember correctly.
Donald Fortune still on the board, or is he?
Jamari Harris, 128 for Jamari Harris.
That's good value there. You said O'Donnell Fortune. He looks
okay. Swing me back over to running backs quick, Clay.
Mm-hmm. Running backs, you got Brashard Smith, Trevor Etienne, Jarquez Hunter, Kyle Monanagai, maybe. Kalel Mullings, Jaquavius Marks, and Taj Brooks.
It would either be ETN Hunter or them. Let me just see here. I think no. So it'd be ETN. Let me see tight ends, and we might be able to get somebody here.
Mitchell Evans, Arondé Gadsden, Thomas Fadome, CJ Dupree. Rondé Gadsden, where's he at on our board? Is he lower? I get him and Fannin mixed up. I think
he's 180 on our board.
Yeah, so he's a little lower. I mean, it'd be good value here for sure, but
right. Mitchell Evans is higher than him, but you told me to stay away from Mitchell Evans, right?
Yeah, it's just that was the big knock on him was like, man, you turn on the tape at Notre Dame and you know, and listen, they went to the national championship, don't get me wrong, but it was just like it just felt like he took plays off, man. I hate to say that, but it did kind of feel like that. And I'm not the only person that caught on to it. It was just sometimes it was, and maybe we got spoiled watching Michael Mayer and all the other great tight ends, and we were expecting so much out of Mitchell Evans.
Right.
It kind of feels like he shut it down sometimes. But again, where's he at on our board?
I'm sorry, that is Evans.
Yeah, Mitchell Evans.
He is one tier higher at on the Gadsden. Sorry. I lost him right here. 154.
154. Okay.
But with a threshold fit, he's 2-3 tiers higher than Arondé Gadsden.
And you know, I probably should guard my words a little bit. You guys know though, I'm very like I don't want to come across like he's Notre Dame guy. I love him. I try to find the negative in the guys that played for my favorite college programs because I never want to come across like just because they played for my college team, I want them on the Packers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But the numbers is what I like. I mean, he was PFF 22, he was 94th. 23, he was 11th. PFF 24, he was 88th. Big board, PFF had him 186th. Consensus had him 154. 33rd had him 136. He had a -1 RAS. The only thing Gadsden has on him is a -3 RAS. But Gadsden also missed 23 because he was injured.
Gotcha. And again, like that's just my eye watching the game going, man, it feels like he's not really giving all the effort. And then hearing the friends over at Irish Breakdown, one of my favorite podcasts, they said the same thing. I was like, I'm glad I'm not the only person that's saying
Okay.
All
right. I'll trust the knowledge. I think we can bring in Gadsden here and bring a little competition to that tight end room. But I'd love to hear input from the advisor here, Tim. I need a little help.
Cameron Jackson, D-line. Did we look at him? Is he still on the board?
Cam Jackson. Yep.
In Florida. Where is he on our board?
I'm pretty sure he's a little bit lower.
I think we have him lower. This
270.
is
270. Yeah.
270. Okay, so can we put a pin in him maybe for how many picks we got left? 3? Maybe we take him last.
He'll probably be gone after this one though.
Howard Cross is 214.
Then I like the tight end then here.
Okay.
And the one my pick would be what was the cornerback we looked at, right? Who'd we say Jamari Harris was ranked kind of high, right?
Yeah.
But we can get him later, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I think let's Jamari Harris, we had him at 128.
Yeah. So if you
we're going to Rondé Gadsden here then?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamari Harris is set in the 268 spot, so you could probably get him maybe able to wait till 250, you know?
Yeah. I think I like that.
All right, so you're going to go a Rondé guy. I feel bad talking you out of Mitchell Evans, and I'm supposed to be an Irish fan. Just telling you what I heard. You know what I mean?
I appreciate the honesty, or else we wouldn't be anywhere.
You're a Packer fan first, Clayton. Come on.
Right.
And again, like with the whole James Pierce Jr. thing, you guys know I'm not just this is confirmation. I'm not just the players can never do anything wrong. It seems like sometimes you get stamped with that, like. You know, there's nothing there with James Pierce Jr. With Mitchell Evans is like we kind of seen firsthand. Is there? I don't know, man. Maybe he was already thinking, "I'm going to the pros. I'm not really in the moment," type thing. So.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Rondé Gadsden.
Please.
Right, probably gonna get a bad grade, and it's my fault. But Rondé,
look at this guy.
Okay, we're doing all right.
Crushing it. All right, so Rondé Gadsden is the pick at 198. All right, now coming back to the Packers here. Let's just I want to see if Jamari Harris is still there. He is, of course. So he'll probably be there at 250. There's still quite a few corners ahead of him, like 4 or 5 ahead of him. So what do you want to see, Emilio? So far you've went corner, D-line, wide receiver, offensive tackle, edge, and tight end.
I feel like I wanted another look at D-line.
That a boy.
And again, when people are probably hearing this and going, there's not another spot for D-line. Colby Wooden has not lived up so far, right? So this would kind of be someone that would compete for his spot.
And right. Kenny Clark is not getting younger.
Kenny Clark's due $31 million next year?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. And he's going to be 31 years old. So, look at Tim Smith. Is that Tim's buddy there? Tim Smith.
No, out of Bama.
We have him 350 on the board.
Where's Ty Hamilton at, man?
Ty Hamilton. He is 287.
So really no D lineman making sense here, is there?
No, but I think we do need to dive back through some of those consensus numbers that we're missing.
Okay.
Damn Horsley.
I know.
Damn Horsley.
Well, let me see Barrow. Where's Barrow Jr. here? Barrow we have at 182.
Oh, that'd be good value here, Emilio.
He doesn't have a threshold, though, on him, unless Clayton missed one, which I don't think. But his numbers are nice, 22, 115, 23, 208, 24, 40th. And then PFF Big Board had him 114. Consensus had him 242.
Gotcha. All right.
He's in the same tier. He's actually 2 spots behind Rondé Gadsden.
Oh, wow. So, that's solid then.
I think –
probably get a bad grade from them, but that's all right because there's 2 guys they think.
Take me back to running back real quick.
You're really on running back, aren't you?
I think we need one.
Ollie Gordon, he's still on the board?
Ollie Gordon is gone, sir.
Damn.
Out of here.
Hold on. I was typing into a box. That's good. I lost. There we go.
Jaquavius Marks.
Who's the Marks as the top one here?
Greg Rice asks, why do we need a running back? Because they tend to get hurt.
I do like that. Jaquavius Marks, 140 on our board. PFF 2261, 82 23, 60th 24. 0 RAS though.
That's tough.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go get the Miami D lineman, and then we'll circle back. Actually, just take me to linebacker real quick. I know we just hit 120.
Cody Simon, Teddy Buchanan, Cody Lindenberg, and look at Sean Dolak.
Oh boy!
Hold up, now, I'm just going to say this: if you do not draft Sean Dolak on your mock draft, but you've tried to get him put his head down, but you've tried to talk me into it every time, sir, we're going to have an issue here tonight.
Okay, all right, deal. Take
You don't have to take him. Your reputation's on the line here. Mine was on the line last night. That's why it was okay for me to take it. So
yeah, jeez. Okay, all right. Take me back to the D lineman and go ahead and bring in the Miami dude, Barrow.
All right, so we're gonna go Simeon Barrow, defensive lineman out of Miami. You got a B, not bad at all. All right.
Okay, back to running back one time. If not, we'll grab our stack backer of the future.
All right. You got Jaquavius Marks, Corey Kiner, Montrell Johnson, Mario Anderson.
Yikes.
And remember, Tory Harris is still there too.
Marks would be the guy. Jaquavius Woody Marks.
So what's his ranking on our board?
157.
So he's 157. Where's Jamari Harris, cornerback?
Harris is 128.
128. And then you said you wanted to look at linebacker too, right?
Yeah, I already know who I'm getting at linebacker. Well, let me just double check Teddy here.
Teddy Buchanan.
Teddy's 204.
Is he? Okay.
And Lindenberg is 330. So it'd be Sean or Teddy. See, why I wouldn't want to get another corner is I'm bringing in Jade. He's going to be starting or competing to start. Yeah, we have Keyshawn, we have Hobbs, we have potentially Ja. If not, Jade's ready to go. We have Carrington Valentine who played, Kobe King. We got Omar Brown back there. I know he played safety. We got Catan. We got Bullard stepping into the slot. I feel like there is a decent chunk in the secondary.
Good point, man.
We rebutted it with 3 safeties last draft.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't. I'm trying to build trenches in and outward.
Yeah, and listen, if you hadn't picked up Nate Hobbs, I would push back right here. But you got Nate Hobbs, so it's you're right, man. It's a crowded room. It's going to get crowded quick.
I like Stackbacker here.
Man, and Cody Simon would be the pick, but I just want to get my Cody Simon's 141 on our board.
Is he really?
Yes.
But boy, he doesn't have that Buffalo Bull next to him.
Horns up, baby. I think I'll take Cody Simon and just hope we pick up Sean and undrafted. We'll sign him first thing.
All right. That's the pick. Cody Simon at Ohio State.
Yeah. Bring him home.
Boom, A+.
Look at this grade point average. Wow.
Absolutely nailed it, Emilio. Great draft, dude. Great draft. All right, we like to do this every mock draft we do. Let's just see how the first round shook out. Number 1, Shador Sanders again. This is so crazy. Travis Hunter, number 2. Will Johnson, 3. Kelvin Banks, 4. Mason Graham, 5. Ted McMillan, 6. Colston Loveland, 7. Cam Ward, 8. Will Campbell, 9. Abdul Carter, 10. Shamar Stewart, 11. Jalen Walker, 12. Josh Simmons, 13. Ashton Gianti, 14. Armand Mimbu, 15th. Derek Harmon went 16th. Donovan Ezaraku, 17. Matthew Golden, 18. Ty Warren, 19. Omarion Hampton, 20. Walter Nolan, 21. Mike Green, 22. Jade Barron, 23 to the Packers. I love that pick. Malachi Starks, 24. Michael Williams, 25. Luther Burden, 26. Kenneth Grant, 27. Gray Zabel, 28. Jahad Campbell went 29 to the Commanders. Azare Thomas, 30. Josh Connerly Jr., 31. And Nick Scourton, however you say the name, 32nd to the Eagles. And then when you look at Emilio's draft here, we ended up with the 23rd pick, again, Jade Barron, cornerback out of Texas. 54, you went T.J. Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. 91, Tory Horton, wide receiver out of Colorado State, after you traded back, right? Yep. Anthony Belton, offensive tackle out of NC State at 124. With the trade back, you picked up 129. You went and got Jared Ivey, edge defender out of Ole Miss. 198, Aronde Gasson the second, tight end out of Syracuse. 237, Simeon Barrell Jr., defensive tackle out of Miami. And then 250, you went Cody Simon in the 140s on our board. So you got him literally 100 picks in value according to our board. I don't know how that's a solid. That's a solid draft.
I appreciate it. We picked up 3 players that are on the top 30 visit board list.
That's good stuff.
I'm not mad at it. I think I probably could have cleaned up the middle a little bit, but I like that we got another pick right there before 130-ish, 150-ish, and kind of go from there.
What do you think about that draft, Tim?
My bad, I was muted. I think that was probably one of our best, honestly, so far. This is definitely in the top 3 runs right here for mocks that we've been doing the past few months. Nicely done there, GM, Mr. Excelio.
And Greg Rice makes a great point. If you were to really try to pick this draft apart and go, okay, here's where you screwed up, the only thing I can think of is not getting an extra offensive lineman. That's it. Other than that, you covered all the
Travis Glover's ready to play. Okay. We brought in a guard. I mean,
this guy's ready to play too.
Seriously.
Oh, man. I love Greg Rice said, you hurt me, Brett Excelio. I'm not getting another. Do we still got that drop, Tim? Please tell me we do. Did I get rid of it?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, sure we do. Of course.
God, I love it. It's so good. All right. There you go. There's your mock draft for the night. Emilio, you crushed it, dude. Absolutely awesome. All right. Anything else, boys, before we wrap up?
No, nice work, man. Nice work tonight. That was a good mock. I love doing these exercises. We mixed it up a little bit, too. I like the trade. That was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just like seeing different names where we're at kind of thing. Just random idea. But we've known Goody to kind of move around in those middle rounds before. That's when we picked up Williams, right, Evan? So it's a possibility.
Yeah. And I think we'll be all right with the 1-0 lineman. I really do. I mean, we picked up what's his name from the Niners? Banks.
Yep.
Right. Jordan Morgan, what would be an ideal scenario is if we had depth at tackle with Jordan Morgan, because Sean Ryan won the right guard job, and now we've got an outside guy. So I think it's a good draft, man.
Yeah, definitely. Completely agree. All right, guys, if you want to check out any of the content that we hit tonight that you've seen on the screen, the majority of that you can find in our Patreon group. If you go to patreon.com/PackerFan Total Access. Also, if you're a member of the $3 tier, we're going to be putting everybody's name on the Pinky Wheel of Fame and giving away an autographed Sean Ryan rookie card this Saturday, okay? There's also going to be giveaways draft night, so don't forget about that. Got a couple different jerseys coming that we're going to be looking to give away. We're going to be doing it's already up and running, a mock draft contest through the Patreon group. You'll go to the chats in there. We got a multitude of chats where you guys can communicate in there, post updates, all that stuff. Put your mock drafts in there. But we got a mock draft contest chat. Whoever successfully predicts the closest to what Goody actually does on draft night for the Packers, just put a 7-round mock draft in there. Whoever gets the closest to what he does is going to win a prize as well. Just a way to get everybody involved with the mock drafts. So,
Emilio, you saw Eric's comment? Is that why you're laughing?
Yeah.
We're not going to put it on the screen, but it's hilarious.
I did. Clay, next time when I should have got a picture with the dude wearing the Glover jersey at Tennessee.
Bro, it was wild. Just the most random thing, man. The most
what I was doing.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, no, I like the draft. We got our corner. Everybody will be happy. We got a speedy wide receiver. Rusty will be happy. And, I mean, besides that, let's build the defense, build out that D-line edge group.
Completely agree. All right, guys, that's it. If you would hit the like button on the way out, appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Again, check out the Patreon group. That's the best way to support the show and get some extra content as well. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Eric. Everybody in the chat. Larry, good to see you in here, buddy. What is this right here? Let's see what Larry said. Excelio working the macros on that draft. Thanks, guys. Go back. Appreciate you, Larry. Thank you, buddy. Good to see you in here. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central for some more PTA Live. Might get another top 30 visit or so, but Emilio, we got a bunch already in. Right?
Yeah, our top 30 number is at 25 currently, so we're closing in our final 5. I would say those are done by Friday.
And it's common too that you don't get the 30 when the draft gets here. It's after the draft you find out so and so was a top 30 visit as well.
Right.
So, but hopefully we'll get them all in for sure. So Anyway, that's it. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
And we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.